How fast should I run my still? Moonshine Life Group by J.B. Wagonmaker. The speed and time at which you run your still will depend on the type of distilling you are doing, the type of still you are using, and your experience level. For example, if you are making whiskey in a pot still, it is usually recommended that you run your still at a moderate to low speed, taking between 3 and 6 hours to run a full batch of whiskey depending on how much you are making. For more experienced distillers, they may opt to increase their still speed to produce whiskey faster, but this can often result in a lower quality whiskey if not done correctly. For beginners, it is best to stick to a slower speed in order to avoid any mistakes, as this produces the best quality spirit. Additionally, the type of still you are using, such as a pot still or a column still, can also affect the speed of your distillation, as column stills are much faster than pot stills. Ultimately, the speed at which you run your still depends on your experience level, the type of still, and the type of spirit you are producing, but starting out slow is usually the best practice. How fast should moonshine drip? When distilling moonshine, controlling the rate of the drip is important in achieving a good quality product. The general rule is that the ideal rate of reflux should be 1 drop per second. If the rate is too slow, the liquor will not have proper vaporization and will lose some of its essential properties. If the drip is too fast, the vapors will be stripped of those properties and result in inferior liquor. For that reason, it is important to ensure the rate of the drip is kept consistent at 1 drop per second. To achieve this, the distiller should check the pressure and temperature of the cooling water to make sure it's in the ideal range. Adjusting the cooling water temperature is also important in ensuring the distilled liquor is good quality. Ultimately, the ideal rate of reflux, or the rate of the moonshine drip, should remain at 1 drop per second for the best results. How long does it take to run a 10-gallon still? It depends on the type of still you are using and a few other factors, but it typically takes around 6 to 8 hours to run a 10-gallon still. When running a still, it is important to remember the age-old distilling adage of, the longer you run it, the better the spirit. This means that ideally, you should run your still for at least 8 to 9 hours in order to get the best results. It is also necessary to factor in that it may take an additional 1 to 2 hours for cooling and collecting the distillate. Enjoy all groups Moonshine Life.